Hello guys, you are welcome to another section of Learning with Prepclass. I am Tutor Chima. In today's section, we are going to be solving past questions on biology, Jamb for the year 2020, and we are going to be looking at questions 31 to 35, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, good. We're looking at questions 31 to 35. Now, in our previous videos, we've solved questions 1 to 30. That's the implication. So if you've not seen any of these videos, I'll ask you to go through our channel again, and you see majority of our content. So you see all these videos so that you can just follow us as we are moving. Okay, students, before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our video. So I advise you to switch a notification bell so that when next I will be uploading, or when next we upload the next video after this one, that is questions 36 to 40, you are going to be the first person that will be notified that, hey, Prepclass has uploaded a video of biology past questions, Jamb 2020 questions 36 to 40, and you just instantly enter and see the goodies we have for you. So that is the essence of clicking the notification bell. So like, subscribe, click the notification bell. If you have any question as a course of watching this video, or maybe you've seen the previous videos and there is a particular question you want to ask me, please feel free to drop it using our comment section box. I'll always be available to attend to your video. So to attend to your question. I'll always be available to attend to your question. So without wasting our time or without wasting your time, let us move straight to the business of today. Question 31. The ecological locality in which an organism can successfully survive is known as the ecological locality in which an organism can successfully survive is known as, is it a biosphere, is it a habitat, is it a trophic level, or is it an ecosystem? Now let us define all these things. Then we can now know what the right answer should be. That's where an organism can successfully survive. Biosphere. This includes the parts of the atmosphere, that is the hydrosphere, the lithosphere, where life can be found. So the parts of Earth where life can be found is called the biosphere. And includes some part of the atmosphere, because some birds fly there, some birds stay on tree tops. That's a part of the atmosphere. The hydrosphere, some organism lives in water. Hydro means water, fish and the rest of them. Lithosphere means land. So these places, atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, where life can be found, is known as biosphere. But they are asking us the ecological locality. Ecological locality, that's the particular place. Is it the atmosphere or hydrosphere? It should be one of them. So biosphere cannot go. Ecological locality, the particular place where the organism can live and survive, is known as what? Habitat. Habitat is the place where living organism lives. A habitat meets all environmental conditions an organism needs to survive. I believe we've seen our answer. Trophic level is a feeding pathway that shows the transfer of materials or nutrient and energy from organism to organism. Like grass manufacture their food through photosynthesis, zebra feeds on grass, lion feeds on zebra. When the lion dies, vulture feeds on lion. When the vulture dies, microorganism decomposes the vulture. That feeding pathway is trophic level. Ecosystem is a self-supporting unit that is made up of the biotic component, that's the living things, and that biotic component. So ecosystem is just like the savannah, all those places made up of living and not the living things, the plants, animals, and their non-living environment. But they're asking us the locality where an organism can survive. It's the habitat. So a habitat is a place where organism lives. A habitat meets all the environmental conditions of an organism that enables it to survive. Where it lives, where it feeds, catches prey, to feed on, where it can be preyed on, where it mates, where it does everything it does, is known as the habitat. So the correct answer there is habitat. Habitat is the correct answer. 32. Which of these diseases is caused by protozoans? Which of these is caused by protozoans or protozoa? Anyone? Is it cholera? Is it tuberculosis? Is it malaria? Is it pneumonia? Let us look at them. Cholera. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae, and Vibrio cholerae is a bacteria. It's a bacteria. Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now, if you look here, you see that the scientific name of all these organisms was written in italics. Whenever I write a scientific name, if you are typing it, type it in italics. If you are writing it in your book, write it normally and underline them. You underline this one separately, you underline this one separately. Vibrio, the genus, cholerae, the species. Mycobacterium, the genus, tuberculosis, the species. So you underline them separately. The first one written, which is the genus, must start with a capital letter. Then the second one should be in small letter. So cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae, it's a bacteria. Tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, it's a bacteria. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium species, it's a protozoa. We have the Plasmodium vivax, we have the Plasmodium falciparum, we have the Plasmodium malariae. So those are the three protozoa that can cause malaria. So that is Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, and Plasmodium falciparum. So I don't want to be listing three of them, so that's why I just said Plasmodium species, depending on the species. So it is a protozoa. Pneumonia is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. It's also a bacteria. So you see that all of them are caused by bacteria, except malaria that is caused by Plasmodium, which is a protozoa. Plasmodium is a protozoa. So your correct answer is malaria. 33. Photosynthesis in leaf of a plant takes place in the photosynthesis in the leaf. Photosynthesis in the leaf of a plant takes place in the, is it mesophyll cells? Is it the guard cells? Is it palisade cells? Is it the substomatal chamber? Let's look at the longitudinal, the internal structure of a leaf. This is the surface of a leaf. This is below the leaf. So look at the structure. You can see here the upper epidermis, lower epidermis, waxy cortical. See the palisade mesophyll. Everything here is the palisade mesophyll. Each of all these things you are seeing here is called the chloroplasts. Each of all these curvy things you see here is called the chloroplast. All these round ones too are the chloroplast. Chloroplast is the site for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. But if you see this thing, you see that it is photosynthesis takes place majorly in the mesophyll cell. Mesophyll is divided into two. This mesophyll is the site for photosynthesis. So it's divided into two, the palisade mesophyll and the spongy mesophyll. But this palisade mesophyll is the main part that majority of the photosynthesis takes place. So a little photosynthesis also takes place in the spongy mesophyll, but the main part is what? The palisade mesophyll, because it has more chloroplast and no much airspace. This spongy mesophyll has much airspace. What I said, that palisade cells are tightly packed together, and most of the plant's photosynthesis is carried out in this soft tissue. Moreover, cells in the palisade mesophyll have a characteristic cylindrical shape and many chloroplasts. But in the spongy mesophyll, this area, there are many air spaces, and cells have slightly thinner cell wall. So this one, the chloroplasts here are bigger and thicker than this one. These ones are thinner, they have thinner walls. And because this spongy mesophyll part has more air spaces, much air spaces, so because of that, much photosynthesis may not take place as this one, as compared to this one that has less airspace. So the answer there is the palisade mesophyll, or the palisade cell. They even made a mistake. They're supposed to write spongy mesophyll, palisade mesophyll. I don't know why this thing is confusing. So a student can go for mesophyll cells, and if you look at it, the person is still correct because both of them are all mesophyll. The student can go for palisade cell Student 2 is still somehow correct because palisade method. So looking at it, the answer itself is just confusing from the question, but just go for palisade mesophyll. Palisade mesophyll or palisade cell is the best choice. 34. A green leaf with yellow or white patches is said to be variegated, while that which is completely yellow or white is said to be, is it etiolated, is it ventilated, is it flaccid, is it non-chlorophyllous? Now, chlorophyll is a green pigment responsible for the green color of leaves, and that chlorophyll is also responsible for the photosynthesis because it contains, because it is found in the chloroplast. Chlorophyll is found in the chloroplast, responsible for photosynthesis and responsible for the green color of leaves. So when a leaf is not green or is not very green, that leaf may not be photosynthesizing. So when a leaf is completely white or yellow, it is said to be lacking or completely lacking chlorophyll. Hence, it is what's non-chlorophyllous. So a leaf that is white in color, yellow in color, is lacking chlorophyll. So we can say that that leaf is non-chlorophyllous. It's not ethionated, it's not ventilated, it's not flat, but it's non-chlorophyllous because it is lacking chlorophyll. 35. In a biuret test, some protein was mixed with sodium hydroxide solution. Which of the following chemicals should be added for a positive result? Is it sodium carbonate? Is it ammonium hydroxide? Is it copper 2 sulfate? That's copper 2 tetrazoate 6. Is it tetrazoate 6 acid? Now, look at how biuret test is done. For biuret test, to the unknown solution, it can be egg white, it can be milk. So to the unknown solution, sodium hydroxide is added, followed by few drops of 2% or maybe 1% copper 2 tetra, also sulfate 6 solution. If a purple coloration is observed, then the presence of protein is confirmed. I just gave you the red test. So after you've added sodium hydroxide, the next compound that you add is 2% copper 2 sulfate. That's copper 2 tetrasulfate 6. When you do that, that blue color of copper 2 tetrasulfate 6 will now turn purple. When that happens, then that compound or that test compound or that test material contains protein. So after sodium hydroxide is copper 2 tetrasulfate 6. So the correct answer there is copper 2 tetra also sulfate 6. Alright guys, we've come to the end of today's section of learning. With Prepclass, where we solved past questions on Jamb 2020, we looked at questions 36 to 40. We looked at questions, sometimes I always forget the question that we solved. We looked at questions 31 to 35, yes. We looked at questions 31 to 35. Alright, if you look here, you're going to see a link. I urge you to copy and paste this link on your browser. It is going to take you straight to our WhatsApp group. So in essence, I'm telling you to use this link to join us on our WhatsApp group. When you do so, you'll be getting updates and infos on the latest videos or content we have on our channel. Till we meet again, I remain Tutochima. Bye and do stay safe.